Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. In today's video, I'm going to share a brand new report from the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, that was just released today at the time of this video, which is the 21st of September. They released new results regarding home prices, home sales, and housing inventory, and of course, much more. So I have a lot to share in today's video. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of today's video. And of course, if you do, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, this was just announced on the 21st of September, and here's at a high level their key highlights for August 2022. It says existing home sales decreased for the 7th consecutive month to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 4.8 million home sales. So in other words, what that means is that at the current sales pace for August, if you multiply that by 12 or analyze it, you would have 4.8 million home sales for the entire 12-month period here. And I'm going to be sharing some stats with you guys to show how low this number is here because again, home sales have decreased for now the 7th consecutive month. And also they have decreased by 19.9% compared to August of 2021. Meanwhile, the median sold price for existing houses for August rose by 7.7% from 1 year ago to $389,500. So that's on a year-over-year basis, but I'm going to be sharing how home prices have decreased almost 6% in the matter of the last 2 months. So it also says here that the unsold inventory index is at 3.2 months at the current monthly sales pace. This is up from around 1.9 months, if I'm not mistaken, from the beginning of this year. So the unsold inventory index has increased greatly this year. So that's the key highlights for the report here that was just released today. But I want to share some additional insights with you guys regarding home sales as well as home prices in the US right now. So again, the seasonally adjusted annualized rate is 4.8 million home sales. Again, that's the analyzed rate based on the sales pace for August of this year. That's down 0.4% from last month. And again, a big decrease of almost 20% compared to August 2021, when we had just under 6 million home sales then. As you guys can see right here, in January of this year, our year-to-date high was 6.49 million home sales. Now we only have 4.8 million on a seasonally adjusted annualized rate. So home sales have decreased every single month this year. And here's Uncle Fred's website regarding this. So again, August 2022, 4.8 million home sales, just shy or just below last month levels where we had 4.82 million, but far below January levels of 6.49 million home sales. And going back to the National Association of Realtors report here, the number of home sales varied quite a bit compared to the region you're looking at. So they look at the Northeast, the Midwest, the South, and the West. So take a look at this. On a year-over-year basis, home sales tanked across the board. I mean, the West decreased by 29%, the South down by 19%, and then the Northeast and the Midwest all decreased by double digits as well. But on a month-to-month basis, the results varied quite a bit as well. In the Midwest, they decreased by 3.3% compared to July 2022, but we saw very small gains in the Northeast as well as the West. Okay, let's talk about home prices in the US. Again, these are based on the median sold price in the US. Of course, every housing market's different, right? So you're going to be seeing some changes depending on which market you're looking at. But this is the nation as a whole, according to the National Association of Realtors. So in June of this year, we had an all-time record high for home prices. That was when our median sold price was $413,800. Now the median sold price is just under $390,000. So the median sold price has now decreased for 2 consecutive months now. And by my dumb math, this is a decrease of 5.9% right now for August 2022 compared to June of this year. In other words, home prices have decreased for 2 consecutive months now, and we're now down about 5.9% from the all-time record highs that we're seeing in June of this year. And again, just like home sales, we saw big variations in home prices compared to 1 year ago, or the changes compared to 1 year ago. So in the Northeast, the median sold price increased by 1.5% compared to August of 2021. We saw huge gains in the South, though, increasing by 12.4%. And the West and the Midwest both increased about 7% compared to 1 year ago, which is on par with the national average of 7.7% increase from 1 year ago. One reason why I mentioned this decline by 5.9% compared to June of this year in the median sold price is because if you go back to this press release from the National Association of Realtors, they don't mention this in the report here, but they do mention the following though. They said the median existing home price of all housing types in August was $389,500. A 7.7% jump from August 2021 as prices ascended in all regions. Again, only on a year-over-year basis though. This also marks 126 consecutive months of year-over-year increases, keywords there, year-over-year, the longest running streak on record. However, it was the second month in a row that the median sold price retracted after reaching a record high of just under $414,000 in June, the usual seasonal trend of prices declining after peaking in the early summer. So again, they're more focused on year-over-year changes here and mentioning that we have the longest running streak on record of home prices increasing on a year-over-year basis for 126 months. They do mention this decline in home prices for the second consecutive months, which I applaud them for doing that. They also mention here that home prices tend to go down after the summer, which is absolutely correct as well. It would be entirely normal, and it is normal, for home prices to retract or plateau in the second half of the year. And actually, when looking at Uncle Fred's website right here, you can see that happened last year more or less. So last year, home prices were more or less flat because in August 2021, there were 361,000, and by December, they were 358,000. One thing that happened in 2021, though, is that in August of 2021, we went down to very close to being all-time record lows for the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. So in August of 2021, the average was about 2.75%, whereas this year, mortgage rates have absolutely skyrocketed. Right now, according to the Mortgage News Daily, let me just pull this up right now, is 6.47% as of yesterday at the time of this video. But look at this, 1 year ago, average rates were at 3%. So that's a 347 basis point increase compared to 1 year ago, or 3.47 percentage points. So in other words, what I'm getting at here is that last year's housing market was entirely different compared to this year, where mortgage rates were decreasing, whereas right now we're in an environment where mortgage rates have been increasing greatly, and that's causing this pullback in home buying demand. So it's my personal opinion, I mentioned this several times on my channel, we're gonna be seeing a pullback in home buying demand for the remainder of the year because of seasonality, but also because of rising mortgage rates. All right, so changing gears slightly, let's talk about housing inventory. So the month supply is sitting at a 3.2 month supply. That more or less is on par with last month's levels at 3.2 months, but far higher compared to August of 2021 when the month supply was 2.6 months. This is also far higher compared to January of this year when the month supply was 1.6 months. So in other words, the month supply we have right now at 3.2 months is double that compared to January of 2022. All right, so before I wrap this video up, I want to share some slides from the National Association of Realtors to share some trends regarding home sales and also housing inventory and home prices as well. So here's total existing home sales. Again, this is a seasonally adjusted annualized rate by month. For August of this year, we have 4.8 million home sales on an annualized basis. This, by the way, is the lowest levels since May of 2020. And also going back to this table here, when looking at 4.8 million home sales, this is far below the number of home sales that we saw in 2019, 2020, as well as 2021 as well. And here's a slide showing the median sold price, the percent change on a year-over-year basis ever since last year, or August of 2021. So as you can see right here, for August 2021, really all the way until we hit May of this year, we more or less had 13 to 16.5% gains on a monthly or on a yearly basis for the median sold price. But look what happened in June. In June, that rate was 12.8%. Then it decreased again to 9.5%. And now the year-over-year rate as of August of this year is 7.7%. This is half the rate we saw back in May of this year, where we had a 15% gain in home prices compared to 1 year ago. And here's a really good chart showing the percent change on a year-over-year basis for home sales. So as of the end of August, we're down almost 20%. Last month, we were down about 20% as well. So huge decreases compared to past couple of months here. And also also back in June as well, because we saw decreases by 14.4%. And obviously this is vastly different compared to August of last year all the way until April this year. We more or less had decreases between 1% to 6%. Out of all the home sales in August of 2022, approximately 29% were purchased by first-time homebuyers. That's this red line or red bar right here. This is the same number or the same share we had back 1 year ago when the share was also 29%. So approximately 29% of all home sales were purchased by first-time homebuyers. The share by investors, or the number of home sales by investors, increased slightly compared to last year. Right now we have 16% of all home sales purchased by investors and 24% purchased by all cash compared to 22% last year. Also take a look at this, because the percent of distress sales, which are defined by, of course, foreclosures and short sales, only represented about 1% of all home sales in August 2022, as well as last year. And lastly, days in the market is at 16 days compared to 17 days last year. And here's also the percent of home sales by region. The vast majority of all home sales actually occur in the South at 45%. In the Midwest, that represents about 24%. In the West, 18%. The Northeast, 13%. Here's the sales by price range as well. So approximately 43% of all home sales as of August of this year were in the range of $250,000 to $500,000. 22% were in the range of $100,000 to $250,000. And also we had 18% share of houses that sold in the range of $500,000 to $750,000. And here's the percent change in home sales from 1 year ago by price range. As you can see right here, homes that sold in the range of $500,000 to less than $100,000 fell off the map. This has been a similar trend we have been seeing for several months now, because look at this, homes that sold in the range of $100,000 to $250,000 down 26%. And home sales less than $100,000 down 22%. We're also seeing a decrease in home sales in the luxury market as well, because homes that sold for over $1 million on a national level decreased by 5.3%. And that's the latest housing market from the National Association of Realtors. Please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Of course, if you guys got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button and greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.